Hey, what's up, Internet? It's Chris Krug checking in here from the NextMEDIA conference in Banff. I'm sitting here with Steve Billinger from CBC. Say hello to the Internet, Steve.
Hello, Internet.
Steve just got off a panel called Canada's Digital Media Giants, where they were kind of talking about the future of the digital media landscape in Canada.
Yeah, there were 4 giants and me as a midget. It was fantastic. I was pleased to be there.
You were kind of providing the color commentary in the background there as everyone else was talking. So what's CBC doing in the digital space these days?
We are concentrating on quite a few things. Social engagement, obviously huge. So we've recently introduced Pluck, which is a commenting tool, up to about 2,000 comments a day, which is a high level of engagement. Yesterday, when
this was something you guys built yourself?
No, Pluck is a major kind of provider to the New York Times and others of commenting tools, and so that is most emailed, most blogged, most searched, most commented on. We spend a lot of time.
So this is additional kind of Web 2 functionality that you're integrating into your CBC properties?
Yes, I suppose if you read Wired magazine, you would call it Web 2.0. Yes, we did a lot of streaming last year. So about a year ago, we were streaming 5 programs over 2 Dells, literally sitting on the floor. We can now do 21 consecutive streams. We have about 6,000 shows in an on-demand library. So just an enormous amount of behind-the-scenes work looking at how to stream content. Huge amount of effort in radio. We think actually radio online is probably the most exciting thing going forward. Up to about 20% of people listen to radio.
Do you use the word podcasting when you're talking about radio online, or
all forms of it, from streaming live to podcasting and whatever. My own view is that all content on digital. All forms of content on digital are going to move to seeing it and hearing it and having it. So however you're seeing it or hearing it, you're going to want to be able to kind of store it, watch it back later, transfer it to a different device, pay for it, rent it, whatever. But it has to be at the scene of the crime. And I think that's the biggest change we're going to see this year.
What are some of the factors unique to Canada in the digital media landscape?
It's highly regulated. There's not very much money, and people don't like to innovate. They really try to move forward through consensus. Everyone has to be, feel good and get nice and warm and fuzzy about it, and absolutely nothing happens.
What are you guys doing to try to innovate? Are you have some initiatives that are like trying to incubate digital properties and stuff?
Yeah, we've created a fund last year, and we've extended that fund this year through Network Programming Office for original content for broadband only, so people can pitch shows, the equivalent of Lonely Girl 15 or all that kind of stuff. We've built the platform for distribution of that. So if you go last year, for example, until September, we had no ability to stream entertainment programming, sports programming, whatever. So there's a platform to do that now. You can actually pitch a show and get it distributed immediately. We syndicate our content to a number of other platforms. So when you come to us, we can also get you onto YouTube. We can get you onto Yahoo, Google Video, and so forth.
It sounds like, unlike some of the other digital media giants, you guys are spending money and brain power both in the platforms and the technology as well as the content?
Absolutely. We're not building the technology. We're partnering with kind of best of class. We feel you've got to be flexible in the industry and partner with people who are winning. So, Apple, I go immediately from here to San Francisco. We're spending a whole day with Apple, a whole day with Google, a whole day with YouTube, which Google owns, of course. Yeah. Right? These are the major, what I call neo-network players. We believe that we're constrained by the consolidation of the distributors. You talk to TELUS, you talk to Bell, you talk to Rogers. You finish your calls by 11 o'clock and you're done business that week, right? So it's much more interesting for us to talk to Apple, to talk to Google, to talk to Juice. And this is why things like net neutrality and others are very, very, very critical to us in the industry. We want to see those players have a fair access to the bandwidth so that we can kind of build new types of services with them. They are the innovators, really.
Tell me a little bit about the tools you're a fan of personally or how you spend your time online.
I'm not sure I can talk in detail to how I spend most of my time online. I spend a lot of time online with my daughter, actually, who's 11 years old, 11 going on 26. And
in the same room together doing things
online?
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. She does. I'm not I am too old to be a game player. I've just completely missed that generation. Mm-hmm. So she brings me into all of the kind of gameplay, sim, immersive environment, which it's absolutely natural for her. And I'm kind of like...
Is she a Webkinz fan?
She's a total Webkinz fan, man. She broke the house last year, right? I have every single one. I didn't know there were any left.
Yeah, I think my daughter has 12 Webkinz in several homes. And
yeah, absolutely. But she's big on Sim 1, Sim 2, and all these sort of things. And so that is amazing. I'm much more interested right now in the non-web experience, which is... I basically think what's happening is we've been very obsessed with full screen delivery, which is a classic kind of cbc.ca. You see something on your screen.
Right.
everything is going part screen or component delivery. The biggest difference, I think, is last week I was in New York at a conference with the New York Times. People were starting to talk less about content buckets, big full-screen experiences, and snowballs, which is a lovely kind of metaphor, that the content is going to get so tiny and go flying out into the universe that what the user does is kind of build a snowman with it, puts the content together.
Right.
If you got a
Playlists and channels and
everything, like the best example is I'm a big fan of PSP and local Roku. You get a local Roku?
Yeah.
It's great. So you press the two buttons down and you can't squeeze through the little tunnel. It explodes, right? And it becomes content snowballs. And then later the user activates something, they congeal back into a major piece of content. That's the kind of 360 experience I think we really struggle with. And the reason why it's very difficult to maintain that is because you're talking to a Microsoft here and a TELUS there. Like, there's multiple people who own pieces of that chain. The consumer, they don't care. They just want all those little snowballs to come back together. So we're really obsessed with that kind of approach.
So what's your one online guilty pleasure?
Probably Holy Moly UK. Do you know Holy Moly?
No, I don't know. Tell us about it.
It's a kind of like Forget About It for boys.
Okay.
It's a gossip site that comes out of the UK, and it allows me to basically know what Pete Doherty and Maybe Shambles are up to.
Awesome. Very good. Hey, thanks for taking the time.
Nice to see you.
And see you around.
Let's
Over
do
and
this
out.
again next year.
Over and out from Banff.